Sun breathing is the ancestor of all breathing styles and the ultimate weapon that helps Tanjiro overcome the Demon King Muzan. But what if there was a more devastating breathing style to take the throne in Demon Slayer history? In today's video, we'll explore a timeline where Tanjiro builds upon Yoriichi Tsugikuni's legacy by creating his own breathing style. Now before we dive into this alternate timeline, let's establish some important canon facts. In the original story, Tanjiro Kamado learns water breathing from Orokodaki Sakonji, the former water-breathing Hashira. Water breathing is known for its fluid, adaptive movements that make it not only versatile, but also one of the easiest breathing styles to learn. But here's the thing about Tanjiro. Neither his body nor his personality are suited to water breathing. Think about it. This style is incredibly powerful in the hands of a fighter like Kiyabu, but Tanjiro constantly struggles to deal damage to powerful demons with it. During his fight against Rui on Mount Naragumo, when Tanjiro is pushed to his absolute limit, his memories of his father performing the Hinokami Kagura flood back to him. This awakens his ability to use what we later learn is sun breathing, the original breathing style created by Yoriichi Tsugikuni himself. Sun breathing is what Muzan fears above all else, and is believed to be the most powerful breathing style. So why would Tanjiro want to change anything about it? Well, here's the catch. Using sun breathing absolutely destroys Tanjiro's body, and every time he uses it in the early arcs, he collapses from exhaustion and sustains serious damage. In canon, Tanjiro eventually learns to use sun breathing as his main style, while also using water's agility and precision when needed. He does this during the Entertainment District arc to compensate for the weaknesses of each style. But what if Tanjiro took that fusion even further? Our timeline diverges on Mount Naragumo, where Tanjiro faces off against Rui, the lower rank 5 of the 12 Kizuki. In the original story, Tanjiro activates sun breathing in desperation when Rui has Nezuko strung up in his threads. But in our timeline, something different happens. When Tanjiro uses the Hinokami Kagura, his body begins to fail immediately, which makes it impossible for him to push through with pure sun breathing. So in that moment of desperation, his muscle memory defaults to something else. Over a year of grueling training under Orokodaki kicks in. The water-breathing form he drilled thousands of times becomes his foundation, but the heat and brilliance of the sun is still there. The warmth envelops his blade, but instead of explosive bursts that shatter his body, the radiance begins to flow, channeling through water-breathing's continuous adaptive movements. This new style is lava breathing, combining the raw, scorching power of the sun, while maintaining the fluidity of water breathing. This style is unique because it's not just a derivative breathing style like insect breathing or love breathing. Those branch off from existing styles, but lava breathing is a fusion of two primary styles that create something entirely original, making it potentially the most significant development since Yoriichi himself. After surviving Mount Naragumo, Tanjiro is brought to the Butterfly Mansion, and this is where things get interesting. Shinobu Kocho, the insect Hashira, immediately recognizes what Tanjiro has created. Remember, Shinobu herself developed insect breathing as a completely new philosophy of swordsmanship to work around her physical limitations. She understands breathing style innovation better than almost anyone. When she sees lava breathing, Shinobu realizes this could be the future of demon slaying. Set aside sun breathing, if other core breathing styles can be combined, this opens up endless possibilities for growth. Think about it, the Hashira have already reached their peaks and are struggling to go further with their breathing styles, but they're simultaneously far behind the upper moons in terms of strength. But if the Hashira could unlock the same power boost that Tanjiro got from lava breathing by combining breathing styles, that would give them a significant strategic advantage. So Shinobu pulls in Kiyabu as well, and they begin studying fusion techniques while also helping Tanjiro perfect his new breathing style. By the time Tanjiro boards the Mugen train, he has 6 solid lava breathing forms locked in. The style is less taxing than pure sun breathing, but it still hits much harder than water breathing against high regeneration opponents. The changes begin during the Mugen train arc, where Tanjiro is able to cut through Enmu's neck without completely destroying his own body by the effort. But even though he's in better physical condition when Akaza shows up, it's still obvious that Tanjiro would only get in the way if he tried to help Rengoku. This means that the outcome of the Mugen train arc is still the same, with Rengoku being defeated by Akaza. However, the Entertainment District arc is where lava breathing really starts to shine. In canon, this arc is brutal as Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Tengen Uzui barely survive their fight against Daki and Gyutaro. The entire district collapses under Gyutaro's vicious attacks, and hundreds of civilians die in the crossfire. The Demon Slayers are battered and bruised by the carnage and barely survive, with Tengen even losing an arm and an eye. But in this timeline, Tanjiro has a much more favorable matchup against Daki's Obi. The lava-breathing fifth form, Scorching Tide, unleashes wide, sweeping waves of movement that are a perfect counter to omnidirectional attacks. Originally, Tanjiro had to rely on water breathing for defense and sun breathing for offense. But with a single consolidated style, he's better able to stand up to even Gyutaro's poison blood sickles. Thanks to Tanjiro's stronger defensive abilities, Tengen is able to focus solely on the battle, meaning that he doesn't lose his arm in this timeline. But the real game changer is that Gyutaro is under too much pressure to play around with district-wide attacks, meaning that there are fewer mass casualties as well. Thanks to Tengen's testament, the Demon Slayers understand Tanjiro's potential much earlier, but there's not much that changes at this point in the timeline. The Swordsmith Village arc doesn't change at all due to Tanjiro's new and improved breathing style, with Hantengu and Gyoko still being defeated with no casualties. But the Hashira training arc is where things take a truly unique turn. Remember how Giyu and Shinobu noticed the potential for innovation by merging styles? This time, the Hashira also try to discover methods to cover the deficiencies in their breathing styles by taking inspiration from their colleagues. For example, Sanemi's wind-breathing style treats offense as the best defense, but is weak against opponents with the capability to absorb his hits and counterattack. Similarly, while Obanai utilizes unpredictability and elusiveness, his attacks lack the raw destructive power to one-shot opponents that can follow his movements. So Sanemi works with Giyu to strengthen his defense by integrating defensive moves from water breathing, while Obanai gets Mitsuri's help to try and elevate his damage output to the level of love breathing. While none of the Hashira actually develop a new style like Tanjiro, they manage to create new forms that are more universal instead of being hyper-specialized like before. These changes become evident when everyone is transported to the Infinity Castle by Nakime's Blood Demon art, as the fights become more evenly matched. Kokushibo finds fewer openings to land hits on Muichiro, Sanemi, and Gyomei, meaning that it's only Genya who dies in the battle against the Upper Moon 1. In canon, Tanjiro and Giyu vs Akaza is one of the most brutal fights in the series, with both Demon Slayers pushed to absolute exhaustion and almost being killed multiple times. But in our timeline, not only is Tanjiro more skilled, but he also has more synergy with Giyu thanks to his style being more similar to water breathing. The Demon Slayers make it to the final battle against Muzan, and this time, Tengen has been summoned to the battlefield as well, while Muichiro is still alive. The Sunrise Countdown arc was devastating in the original timeline, with the Demon Slayers throwing everything they had at Muzan and only Giyu and Sanemi surviving from among the Hashira. But in our timeline, the Corps arrives at this fight in much better shape, and can put more pressure on Muzan. This might not seem like a huge difference, but challenging the Demon King a bit further actually has a significant side effect. Think about it. Tamayo's anti-Muzan drug slows down his regeneration, meaning that every single extra strike on the Demon King makes a huge difference. And here's where we get into Muzan's head. 400 years ago, Yoriichi Tsugikuni almost killed Muzan with sun-breathing, leaving behind scars that burned at a cellular level. Muzan has feared sun-breathing ever since. It's the one thing in existence that truly threatens him. Tanjiro's lava breathing has the exact same effect. When he rushes forward with the lava breathing third form, Erupting Flow, Muzan sees a silhouette of Yoriichi in Tanjiro's structure. This isn't the sun breathing he knew, it's something even more devastating. Tanjiro doesn't have the same raw power and speed as Yoriichi, but the Demon Slayer mark and Hanafuda earrings are enough to make Muzan unsettled. The Demon King tries to hide away in a flesh cocoon, but Tanjiro immediately cuts through with the lava-breathing first form, Magma Serpent. As the sun rises, Muzan makes a gambit by transforming yet again and trying to escape, but Tanjiro looks into the transparent world and locates the main body. Just like Yoriichi combined all the forms of sun-breathing in that fateful encounter, Tanjiro unleashes the lava-breathing 11th form, Dawn Forge. It's a sustained flowing barrage that ends with Tanjiro channeling the very nature of the sun's surface through his molten forms. Muzan is too damaged to even try his final trick of turning Tanjiro into the new Demon King, and immediately disintegrates under the light of the sun and the brilliance of Tanjiro's blade. So what do you think? Is lava breathing stronger than sun breathing? Or was it just used well enough to do the job? As always, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.